Well, hello, Ankit. It's another year, another month. Things are flying off the shelf, and here we are, February already.
February already, Rob, and a lot has happened. So it's a perfect time to go over it and see, what's going on, what to expect, right? This is Ankit with RJ Homes.
Rob Yastrzemski, RJ Homes. And this time we're going to be discussing January 2025 stats from the greater Edmonton area. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. So let's do a little bit of let's compare it to December.
Absolutely.
And see how markets has changed as well, right? So where do you want to begin with? The prices, the listings, what do you like?
Well, I think everybody just wants to just get right into the pricing. So let's start with the price comparison, the price index, and then we'll go through the rest of the stats. We'll do a quick comparison. We're going to really focus on January stats, but we'll go back and forth to December just to remind you, if you haven't seen the December video, of what happened then. So
yeah, as always, all the slides that we're going to go through will be presented over there on the screen. We'll just ask the editor to do that. So don't mind us looking down all the time. It's just these numbers, right? So yeah, let's do. So Rob, how is it looking? How is the market?
Well, let's refer to the data. So the data states that things are crazy busy, and they really are. We've been incredibly busy in January. Everything is up. Prices are up. Activity level is up. The only thing that seems to go down is the interest rate, which is great.
Which is good news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win-win for the buyers, that's for sure.
So we did see in December the prices increased as compared to December 2023 by almost 8%, right? So now we're talking about stats for January 2025 as compared to last year. What's the difference?
So last year we were talking in December, we went up 7.8, almost 8% versus December 2023. Now, if we compare January 2025 versus January 2024, that's the real good gauge, and we're up 12%.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Everybody's waking up from that December slumber and decided to buy some houses.
Yeah, and just as predicted, remember we were discussing this before Christmas. A lot of people don't realize that December is actually still pretty active. And our phones start to light up December 26th. So things do slow down. It's still busy, it's still active, but things do slow down when you get really close to Christmas.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, things just pick right up on December 26th. And it's shown. From some of the stats that we're seeing, a lot of activity happened December 26th to the end of the month. And January is showing it. Like, there is a lot of activity that has happened in January.
Yeah, we've seen it year after year. Everybody puts their plans on hold during Christmas, and the moment is December 26th. Everybody's out and about making their plans into reality, right? So that shows 12% increase compared to last year, January 2024. That leads our benchmark price to $419,000, and in December it was $404,000, right? So that's a good jump.
That's a big jump.
It's a good jump.
So again, that leads into our or we're gonna go back to what we mentioned in our video about the what all the experts predicted was going to happen for this year. So the forecast, if you guys are not aware, we shot a forecast for 2025 video with all of the experts' opinions, and they were pretty conservative. They were saying around 1.1%.
Yeah, around that 2% mark. We've already seen double digits, 12% as compared to last year. So that kind of shows what's going to happen moving along once we do get into technically what's called as busier market, like the spring and the summer. And fingers crossed, let's see what's going to happen, right?
Spring market, by the way, for all of our viewers, in real estate, spring market basically means February to June, to the end of June. That's technically spring market. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so without further ado, let's just continue on. Let's go with the general flow of things, the way the real estate board hands it to us. Is we start with the new listings.
So definitely there are more listings as compared to December 2024. In December, we saw a significant decrease, just as we said, Christmas time, right? But there's about 83% more listings in January as compared to December.
no surprise there. It is a little bit larger than typically, but what we've seen is also a combination of December, things start to slow down because people do start to think about Christmas, so they don't want to be disturbed. They don't want to put their homes on the market. They don't want to have their visits disturbed while they're entertaining their guests.
Yeah, exactly. And even as compared to last year, we did see new listings popping up more this January as. I think a lot has to do with the interest rate announcement and a lot of people making big moves, right?
That's the second reason why we saw a larger jump in listings this year. Also, of course, the elephant in the room, our neighbors to the south, they had their election. We know President Trump is very unpredictable, and there's all kinds of crazy statements that he's making about tariffs possibly coming in, possibly not. So there is uncertainty. So people want to make their moves before the real uncertainty hits.
Exactly.
So that's another one of those kind of factors that also plays into the decision making for our buyers and sellers out there.
Yeah. So 12.9% more listings compared to January 2024. Right, that's a good number, and that's positive signs for our real estate market as well. We need listings.
We need more inventory, so it's nice to see. But even having said that, we're going to go through the slides because the activity level has still been very, very high, and we still see a lot of multiple offers. Even though we had a 12%, almost 13% increase in listings.
But the sales are even higher, right?
Yeah.
So we're back to square one, I guess.
Yeah, but you know what? Spring market is going to bring us more, so more of the same. So let's just continue on now. That was the listing. So we ended up with, let's just actually mention the listing. Sorry, let's go back. We now have, for January, we had 2,452 listings for the greater Edmonton area.
Yeah.
So that's really not that much. I don't know if the viewers are following us, but a typical average should be closer to quadruple that, somewhere around 10 to 12,000.
Yeah, so just having around 2,450 new listings is not that significant. It might look good as compared to last month, but technically we still have a very big lack of inventory happening here in the Edmonton and Greater Edmonton area still, right?
That's right. So that whole housing crunch that the whole Canadian market is feeling, it's still very much alive here. Although Edmonton itself, the city of Edmonton, has made incredible strides over the last couple of years, especially this past year with streamlining the permit process. It's all online. It's actually such a good system that builders love working with the city of Edmonton by comparison to other cities.
Big shout out to our municipality. They're doing a great job making sure that the builders are able to build new homes at a faster pace as compared to any other province. We were ranked number 1 in Edmonton,
area
for the ease of building new homes and the permits. So kudos to them. They're doing a good job.
Good job for sure. So let's move on now into the January Greater Edmonton area. We're always talking about Greater Edmonton, not just Edmonton. For the sales, sales prices here. If we look at the sales prices, if you compare month over month, no surprise that things went up. But things went up a lot. That's a bit of a surprise. Month over month, 12.1%.
Yeah, especially we saw a big decrease in last month by 25% lower sales.
Number of sales.
Due to unpredictability in the market, that did lead to that. Sellers wanted to kind of gauge the market before they list, and we saw a number of listings coming up, so as more buyers entering the market just as the interest rate starts falling. We do see that inventory move in now, so the number of sales has gone up by 12%, and compared to last year by 11.2%, is it? Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, that's big.
And again, no surprise, because January should always have a lot more activity than December, of course, but it's a significant jump. It's quite a bit. So we had a total of almost 1,600 transactions happen in the Greater Edmonton area. That's pretty significant for the month of January. And you know what? I also think that the weather has something to do with it. We had an above average, much warmer January than we typically do. So
can't say the same about February, but January was nice.
So far, February is kind of chilly, so we'll see what happens. So let's move on. Oh, by the way, can we compare? What did that look like in December?
Yeah, so in December we had 25.4% less sales as compared to November,
Wow.
right? But now we have 12.1% more sales compared to December.
Yeah. So
And
December slows right
December slows right down. So we can clearly, and pretty much expected, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what's.
So, by the way, just to compare, just on the number side, the December numbers for the amount of transactions was under 1,500, 1,428 transactions versus almost 1,600 for January. So, quite a bit of a large jump.
Yeah.
Moving on, so let's go into the actual inventory numbers. Greater Edmonton, right now for January, we had 3,700. So that's the total amount of listings because we added 2,400. So still not very much.
Yeah, still not much. In December, it was 3,496. Right now, it's 3,731. It isn't much of a difference. So
No, not considering the amount of demand.
not considering the amount of demand. The amount of buyers that have entered the market is definitely not keeping in pace with the amount of inventory we have. We
Not
have
at
actually 2.5 months of inventory available. Rob, do you care to explain what does that mean to the viewers?
That is ridiculously low. So what that really means is if we had no new listings come on whatsoever, how long would it take us to sell off all the listings? 2.5 months.
2.5 months, yeah.
A typical kind of, just for the viewers to know, a balanced market, we should be somewhere around 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
We are in a very strong seller's market right now. And you know what? I wish I had a crystal ball. I do think that we're going to continue on this path, but nobody knows for sure. I mean, with the uncertainty, what's
with
going
the
on.
tariffs looming around,
just never
interest
know.
rates dropping, we never know how the market's going to shift. But currently, it is a seller's market, as Rob suggested. If it's usually around 6 months of inventory is like a balanced market, but we are way below that 2.5, which kind of strong indicator towards the seller's market, right?
With that being said, though, prices, even though they've climbed, they still have a long ways to go. So there's still a lot of opportunity in the market here in Greater Edmonton area, and it's pretty amazing. So anybody who's thinking about buying, the sooner the better, especially with the uncertainty. The sooner the better, for sure. So,
especially first-time home buyers, it's still a perfect time. You're still eligible for 5% down payment. If you're looking around that 400,000 price point, you still have only $20,000 as down payment. Very affordable depending upon your scenario, of course. But if there's a wife and a husband both earning and they're saving. Pretty doable being a homeowner right now still. Right?
Very much so. That's a good point you make because we've been working with some brand new first-time home buyers, and we're finding that there's still quite a bit of choice out there for them, but they do need to act fast.
They need to act fast. They need their financing in order, funds in order, and be ready to move right away. As we know, the inventory is very few. So if they like something, they have to act upon it really fast, right?
My suggestion is, especially first-time home buyers, I do believe that if those tariffs do come into play, it will hit hardest for the first-time home buyers.
Yes.
Those will be the ones that will be affected most. But let's move on. So inventory is what it is. Let's do something fun. Let's go in and do some of the high rollers. What do you think?
Yes, let's do that. So in January, right? So we had although the uncertainty in the market, high rollers are always fun to do, right? So Rob, detached property got sold.
This is actually pretty rare for the Greater Edmonton area.
That's right.
We're lucky if we have high roller sales at around 2 to 3 million.
Correct. Yes.
We doubled that. $6 million sale.
Yeah.
And that's for a detached single-family residential home, not some commercial property, not a farm, not a bunch of thousands of acres of land. This is a detached single-family home.
For $6 million.
$6 million in the Greater Edmonton area.
And even $600,000, right? $6 million. Crazy.
That is amazing. Semi-detached. So these are the duplexes.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me anymore. Just close to 745. The demand, the area, everything comes into play. They are big, half duplexes, big semi-detached properties, luxury semi-detached properties at this price point, and they're in demand.
And you hit the nail on the head. Location, and So the greater Edmonton area is huge. In Edmonton itself, we have several different pockets of very unique areas that are highly desirable, that do have some significant prices that are much higher than other areas. Like, for example, just the around University, Garneau area, that's huge, for you, especially for duplexes, townhomes, and row homes.
The closer you're to University, the higher your price is going to be, just because of the location, right?
Speaking of that, the next segment, townhomes, row homes, have also had a significantly high sale price.
Yeah, that's right.
What are we looking at?
$625,000. So these are attached houses, right? Attached from this side,
both
that side, both sides.
Row house.
Maybe it was a corner unit. We don't know, but still, it is a townhouse. Most likely, it is a non-condo townhouse. I hope at this point.
I would hope so too.
But yeah, $625,000. But the next category, it has actually stopped making me, I was always surprised.
Yeah.
But I've seen this now a lot. Every month that we do this, we saw
the high rollers, apartment style condos.
Right.
Pretty high.
Pretty high. So Rob, what's the number?
Again, this is not going to sound like a super high roller price for some of our viewers from Ontario or Vancouver area, but for Edmonton, this is pretty big. 1.6 million for an apartment style condo. Obviously, very nice luxury property, and in the downtown core. So
yeah, just to give everybody perspective, our average for an apartment condo is around the $200,000 price range. So something that's sold for $1.6 million. So it better be good.
Pretty significant for the greater Edmonton area. Yeah. So that was just a little bit of fun stats. Now, the other one that a lot of people want to know about is, if you're considering selling, or even when you're on the buy side, you want to know this, is how long do listings last on the market? Again, this is taken into consideration the whole greater Edmonton area, and we're going to break it down by all the different categories.
Well, the short answer, just like the days on market, is not very long. We did see significant decrease in the average number of days a property stays in the market, right? So let's go by the categories, right? So let's start with the townhouses. As we've seen the demand go like crazy in this segment, right? So Rob, what's the change here?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Townhouses, duplexes, and single family have seen a lot of desirability. This is again in the greater Edmonton area. Remember, we keep on referring to this, that you can get a really nice home by comparison to some of those other markets, that we're talking. Even Toronto, Vancouver, and even Calgary. This is a significant difference. So this is where you're getting a lot of activity, and so the days on market is going way down. So even last year, we had a busy January in 2024. This year, though, check it out. Both the row house and duplexes have identical numbers. So last year, they were at around 53 days on market back in January of 2024. Yeah, almost 2 months, which is kind of normal.
Yeah.
This year, 37 days.
Month and a half. Not even.
Like half. Almost half. So very, very much a lot of demand in that area, because you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah.
If you don't mind having a neighbor on one side or on both sides, you're getting a huge amount of value for your money. But if you can't afford the detached home, this is a great option, because there's a lot of square footage that you can still get that's similarly built home. We see this in a lot of the newer areas where builders are building the duplexes, the row homes, and the single family detached. Correct. And there's approximately $100,000 jump between each.
Yeah. No, it definitely makes sense, right? So
speaking of which, next category is the detached category. So detached category last year was bang on 60 days on market. This year
51, so 9 days shorter, right? So yeah, I mean, this is kind of the theme now. Everything's selling faster as the demand is getting higher and the inventory is going lower, right? So, and everybody loves a detached property, and so faster sales, good for sellers.
Good for sellers, but having said that, it's still not extreme.
It's not extreme.
We're not under 30 days yet.
Yeah.
That's when things get really extreme. So for now, there are still opportunities out there.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
This is something that's interesting. The apartment style condos, we typically see a lot larger of a spread
Absolutely.
between the days on market from an apartment style condo versus a non-condo.
Yeah, I mean they're selling fast too, right? Just 57 days on the market compared to 65 last year, and even before that the days on market was even longer. And we have seen month over month that the days on market for apartments are going shorter and shorter. So that kind of tells you where most of investors or first-time buyers are kind of moving into with the lower price points, is going for those apartment condos, right?
Absolutely. I mean, no surprise there. The apartment style condos are the lowest buy-in into the market. So of course, if you're looking at wanting to make that jump between renting and becoming a homeowner, and you see that the market is going up, you can't wait. You have to jump in, even if all you can afford is a condo versus a townhouse or a house. Get into the market. The sooner you get in, those homes, even the condos, are now going up, and they're going to be going up more and more with all the influx of people we have moving to the greater Edmonton area.
Absolutely, and the builders are preferring building these condo apartment complexes as well.
Absolutely.
So you even have brand new options available currently in the market. So if you were thinking to kind of get your feet wet in real estate, or thinking about like your first investment property,
Good option,
right?
For
yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go into the greater Edmonton, all residential kind of stats as far as the prices.
Prices, yeah. So if you
That's
were
what
wondering,
everybody wants to know, right?
Yeah,
Prices.
exactly. So if you were wondering, with your current price point, what kind of property kind of falls under your realm, this can be a very good segment for you, right? So Rob, how does our average price for everything residential look like?
You know what? Again, I have to keep stressing that what we discuss here is the greater Edmonton area, not just Edmonton, not just a particular community.
Yeah.
So all that taken into consideration, the average price for residential property, that's including everything, apartments, even vacant lots. If it's residential, duplex, townhouse, whatever, single family, detached, luxury, it doesn't matter. When they take everything into consideration, the average price comes in at $438. $438. That's so cheap for for a large city center like this.
And this has gone through a significant increase as compared to last year. 9.9% increased as compared to January 2024. So the prices for all residential, including the whole greater Edmonton area, anything residential, technically everything's jumped up by 9.9%.
Call it 10%, just to be even. So I keep on telling all of our viewers out there, whether you're a buyer or a seller, in the last couple of years we've seen some significant increases, roughly around 10% on average from 23 and 24. 22 even saw a huge jump, but of course the latter part of 22 is when we saw all those interest rates increase, so that slowed it back down again.
Yeah,
but 23 and 24 have been very, very, very busy, very active, huge jumps in price, and I certainly would suggest that there is a good chance that those price increases will continue in 2025.
Makes sense. That definitely makes sense. All right, let's go through them segment wise. Let's start with the detached segment, right? Definitely no surprise there. Big increase,
huge.
Right? So
that makes up a big part of that average.
So last month, our average detached price was $540,000. That was last month.
That was December.
30 days ago, we were at $540,000.
Now, that same house, if you were to change your mind and want to leave, you can pocket an extra 20 grand, 561.
Crazy.
So month over month, we went up by
4.2%.
Just month over month.
Month over month. Just in 30 days.
And if we remember our discussions about the 2025 forecast, what did they say for the whole year?
1.1, yeah.
1.1% for the whole year. And we've already gone up 4.2 just in 1 month.
1 month, in 30 days, right? So as compared to last year, detached segment has grown significantly.
Price-wise. 16.2% increase in price year over year.
It's crazy.
Absolutely amazing. Do you have the stat from last year? What we were at?
So last year we increased by 10.6%.
Yeah.
But this year 16.2%.
What was the average price back then?
540.
Yeah, pretty crazy. That was last year in January. Or
December.
No, that was December.
Yeah.
Do you have the January stats?
No,
there?
I don't.
Oh, jeez, we'll have to look that up because that's pretty interesting. 16.2% increase. So
Yeah.
detached. So if you have a detached home, that's a pretty rare commodity. That's what everybody wants. But look, we're still in well under 600,000 for
Exactly.
a really nice home in the greater Edmonton area. Moving on to semi-detached. These are the duplexes, also experiencing huge increases in price gain.
So in December, their average price was $409,000, right?
December. This month, 1 month later, 421,000.
3% increase
Pretty nice for 1 month.
for 1 month. So
Year over year,
congratulations everybody who were proactive in December. You've already made a good chunk of equity in your home.
if you would have
If you
bought
would have
that
bought
same
that
duplex
same
last year, though, in January,
Yeah, you would have been up by 11.2%. Yeah, 11.2%. Yeah, so
pretty nice.
so that's crazy, right? Like, so market as compared to last year. So if you were on the fence last year, you're paying about 10% all over, more for almost every segment, and trend seems to continue to rise. So still not a bad time to jump in, because you'll be earning these same numbers probably next year too, right?
I certainly do believe that for
Yeah.
sure. So let's continue on down the line here. We've got the row houses now. So this is similar to a duplex, except you're attached on both houses, but both sides. And again, like I said, there's about $100,000 difference between these categories.
Yeah.
So the row houses have also experienced tremendous growth.
Tremendous growth, because this is the segment that was always under that $300,000 price range and was most attractive for first-time home buyers and investors. But this time we've crossed that threshold. So in December we were at $293,000 as the average price for a townhouse, and now January, 30 days later, we are at
30 days later, we're at 312,000 average, for an increase month over month of 6.6% in 1 month.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I have some clients who are waiting to close on them, but they bought it in December, so they're in a really, really good place, right?
They've already made a significant, nice little chunk of equity. Just by waiting for their possession date to happen a little later.
How crazy
Amazing.
is that? Real estate, right?
How crazy is it? Well, let's see. Just how crazy is it? Year over year increases of.
So just like half duplexes, almost 16% increase. So 15.8 to be exact. So tremendous wealth building in these two segments, the half duplex and the townhouse category.
Yeah, I mean, anything that's non-condo in the greater Edmonton area, whether it's detached, single-family home, duplexes, or row houses, those are the ones that are seeing tremendous growth. But that's not to be outdone. Our apartment-style condos are also increasing in price. So
yeah, absolutely. So not a big difference from last month in this particular segment. So our average was $204,000 in December, which actually kind of decreased a little bit.
Yeah, that's because we had a lot more inventory,
yeah.
And then now January came on, and of course we had the slowdown in the sales in December, so not a surprise. Month over month we actually went down in price, but year over year in the apartment style condos we went up by almost 5%.
Almost 5%, yeah. So that's still an increase, right? Like if you just don't.
Pretty good increase actually. The average increase is 1 to 2%.
Yeah, and you know what? In December, why we saw the $204,000 price range, because the year over increase was 19.8%.
Yeah. So we had a significant jump last
month.
Well, yeah, between 23 and 24. So this year we do expect the apartment style condos to still continue to rise in price as well. Although it should probably, I'm guessing, it's not going to be quite as strong growth as we had in 2024, because there are a lot more of those being built right now.
That's right, yeah.
But nevertheless, it's still a very, very affordable.
They're being built because there is demand.
And there's more inventory of those apartment style condos out there. So if you are considering getting into the market, an apartment style condo is a good place to start.
Yeah, and especially you'll be spoiled for options. Every particular neighborhood in Edmonton do have a specific section for apartment style condos, most of them, right? So yeah, it's definitely not a bad place to start if you're starting out.
Yeah, I keep on joking around with. It's funny. It was just recently in the news how the Edmonton area is picking a municipal bird, and I actually believe that we, instead of having a blue jay or one of the other traditional birds, we should have crane as our municipal bird, because we see cranes all over the city.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But they're building houses, building apartment style condos.
Yeah.
So overall, the picture is really, really positive.
Yeah.
For buyers and sellers.
Buyers and sellers, we see more listings popping up. We do see more buyers coming up. We do see a steady increase in the price point as well. So for investors, it's a good sign as well. All in all, hot market continues to be hot, and we do predict it's gonna continue even moving more as we move towards the February-March market as well. And so, well, we'll catch you again for our February stats and compare it with January and see what changed. So if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. We'll more than happy to answer anything. That way everybody can read it in case they had the same questions. Till the next time, thank you so much. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.